Okay, it's always useful to think about maybe some kind of visual for this, just to see what's going on. So I'll draw some coordinate axes. We'll plot our points on. 312 is here, negative 825 is maybe up here. There's A at 3, 12, and there's B at negative 8, 25. Okay, so there's a line that goes through these 2 points. Let's just make sure we've kind of got it roughly. Okay, so that's a good start. So we want the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. It's a bit of a mouthful. So bisect means chop in half. So we need the halfway point of AB. And perpendicular means the line looks like this, is at right angles. So this is the equation we're trying to find, the equation of this black line. I'm actually going to call this L2. I'm going to call this intersection point, the midpoint, Z. I'm not going to call it M, because M kind of deals with gradients, okay? And I'm not going to try and confuse myself with M's. And that's pretty much it. There's 90 degrees here. Okay, so let's go for it. Let's find Z first. So Z is the midpoint, and to get the midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So it's the average of the x's, the average of the y's, okay? And you can call either of these points the first point and either of these points the second point. It's your choice. What you should get is 3 plus negative 8 over 2, 12 plus 25 over 2, and this will give you Z of negative 5 over 2, comma, 37 over 2. Keep it as improper fraction. And now the gradient. So the gradient I'm just going to do as y2 minus y1. Again, you can choose which point to call 2 and which point to call 1, and this will be x2 minus x1. And we've already got this gradient from the question before. It's 13 over 11, but it's a negative gradient. Okay, so this is actually for L1. Okay, so this is the gradient of L1, and this is the midpoint of L1 from A to B. Okay, so let's now switch to L2, because if the gradient here is negative 13 over 11, then the gradient here is actually 11 over 13. So the gradient of line 2 is linked to the gradient of line 1, but it's the negative reciprocal is a fancy word, but we just flip the fraction. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of information for L2 now. So we've got L2, the line. We know it goes through Z, and Z is negative 5 over 2, 27 over 2, and we know the gradient is actually 11/13. So this is now just a regular question, you know, find y equals mx plus c for L2. So let's just grab this information here. I'll just copy it. Let's get another page on. Let's just paste it here. Okay, and let's give it a go. So y, put my pen back on. Y equals m, x plus c. Substitute now for x in place of the x, and y in place of the y to find c. So 27 over 2 equals 11/13, negative 5 over 2 plus c. 27 over 2 equals negative 55 over 26 plus c. Don't worry, you can use a calculator again. And then 27 over 2 plus 55 over 26 equals c. And again, I'm reaching for my calculator, just to show you how long it takes to type in the calculator. 27 divided by 2 plus 50, click on the calculator button, yeah, fraction button, 55 over 26. And I've got c coming out to be 203 over 13. So let's write out the equation. Y equals 11/13 x plus 203/13, and then let's times everything by 13 again, the trick from before. So basically this gets times by 13 the left hand side, this gets times by 13, and this gets times by 13. And can you see the 13s cancel out here and here, and we are left with 13y equals 11x plus 203. Rearrange it, negative 11x, so the 11x comes to the left and becomes negative 11x, plus 13y equals to 203. and we have got the equation in the form ax plus by equals d, which is what is asked for.